Alright, I do say welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven and this is Monday Matinee. I was going to do that accent the whole time, but the more I did it, the more it became Foghorn Leghorn. But today's movie of choice is the excellent Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. Alright, so Glass Onion is director Rian Johnson's follow-up to his 2019 Knives Out. Hence the full title, Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. A rather unnecessary title, I do say so myself, but they switched it to this for whatever reason. But anyway, this movie works as a standalone movie, so it's not necessary to have seen Knives Out. There is no Knives Out universe that Rian Johnson is creating, and the two movies only share the renowned detective Benoit Blanc, played by Daniel Craig, traveling to an island in Greece with an ensemble cast who have been invited by a millionaire friend, Miles Braun, played by Edward Norton. So Miles Braun is always inviting his friends on these annual getaways, but this time with a special twist, they'll be solving his murder in a murder mystery dinner type fashion. However, once a real murder occurs, it's up to Blanc to peel back the layers of this group and unveil the killer. So this movie is just as enjoyable as the first, and maybe some things it does a little better. This movie is definitely more quirky and humorous, and that's something I particularly enjoyed about this one. We get a lot more of Daniel Craig as Blanc, and his banter with the other guests was quite fun. Yeah, you could argue that Janelle Monáe stole the show, but I was especially fond of Kate Hudson's character, Birdie. I haven't seen Kate Hudson in ages, and she nailed it as this sort of clueless fashion model. Besides Blanc himself, I think her jokes got the biggest reaction from the audience. The other cast members were good as well, but some of them weren't given much to work with, Catherine Hahn being an example. But this movie is also a lot larger in scale, which doesn't necessarily mean better, but it did allow for a lot of pretty landscapes with this island and this house, with an almost literal glass onion. This story was also a lot tighter knit than the first, I thought, and it didn't have that kind of silly plot device like vomiting when you tell a lie. Something else that also stood out for me was the look of this movie. This movie was shot digitally, but it did look as if it could have been shot on film. The film emulation I think was really well done, and there were times where I genuinely couldn't tell. For a lot of people, there's something kind of romantic about shooting a movie on film, so I appreciated the effort with this emulation. For a few nitpicks, I think that it takes a while to get into the mystery of it, but I wasn't at all bored waiting for the event to happen. It's somewhat of a slow burn. My biggest qualm would probably be the fact that it was a little bit predictable. Not necessarily the means or the methods, but the who. There was a tell that I caught on to, and I think most might. And once one of the early reveals came, it became quite clear based on that tell alone. For a letter grade, I'd give this movie an A-. Actually, I prefer Rian Johnson's mysteries to the recent adaptations of Agatha Christie's novels. These are just a hell of a lot more fun, and I could tell that the cast had a lot of fun making this. I do hope he continues to make these. They'll always be kind of standalone mysteries, but at least we'll always have Benoit Blanc. And hot damn is that exciting. Alright guys, that was just a very quick, spoiler-free review for this movie. There are a lot of reveals, so it is kind of hard to get into the story without revealing too much myself. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.